how do we actually stop doom scrolling? The funny thing about this video is that the people who click off of this video are the ones that need it the most. If this video were made like most self-improvement contents, it'd be louder, faster, and a lot more stimulating. I'd show you 5 tricks which can help, but aren't actually permanent. And you'd forget about them around this time tomorrow anyways. There'd be dramatic music, quick cuts, big promises, and you'd probably leave feeling fired up for a few minutes, and then go right back to scrolling. That's the trap. A lot of the content that's supposed to help you reclaim your mind is secretly training it to need even more stimulation just to pay attention. So even when you're trying to improve, you're still feeding the same addiction. And that's why so many people feel stuck. It's not that you're lazy. It's not that you lack discipline. It's that your brain has been trained to run from stillness. It's been trained to feel that slowness feels wrong. Anything that doesn't give you instant reward starts to feel unbearable. So this video isn't here to hype you up. It's here to show you why your mind feels so scattered, why scrolling has more control over you than you'd like to admit, and how to start taking that control back. Let's get psyched. Most people think scrolling is just a bad habit, a little lack of discipline, a little too much screen time, a small weakness you need to clean up. But that framing is way too shallow, because what you're dealing with usually isn't just a personal flaw. It's your nervous system colliding with an environment that has been built to study you, learn you, and keep you engaged for as long as possible. That's what makes this so difficult to talk about honestly. But if you're genuinely serious about reclaiming what doom scrolling has stolen from you, I challenge you to close all your tabs and set aside time to watch this video all the way through without checking the comments or your phone, because what I'm about to share next might just change your life for the better. The secret is on one level, yes, it feels personal, that it's your fault. You open your phone for one quick check and somehow you're gone for 20 minutes, then 30, then an hour. You tell yourself you'll stop, but when the moment comes, your hand moves before your mind does. And after a while, that starts to feel like a character issue, like maybe I'm just weak, maybe my attention span is broken, maybe I'm the problem. But the truth is, it's also systematic. These platforms are constantly collecting signals about what holds your attention, what makes you pause, what makes you tick, what makes you feel curious, angry, insecure, hopeful, attracted, or afraid. Then they use that information to build a profile around you and feed you the kind of content you're most likely to keep consuming. So when you say, why can't I just stop? The answer isn't simply that you lack discipline. It's that you're trying to raw dog against something that has been refined to predict your impulses better than you realize. You're up against billion-dollar companies, and the damage goes deeper than wasted time. The real cost is that your brain starts adapting to this rhythm. Constant novelty, constant switching, constant stimulation. After enough exposure, silence feels empty. Slowness feels irritating. Reading feels harder. Thinking feels heavier. Even rest starts to feel strange, because your mind has quietly been trained to expect reward every few seconds. Your brain expects a dopamine hit, and your phone gives you just enough for you to come back for more. So that's why this matters so much. Because attention isn't just another productivity tool. It's the basis of your life. Whatever you pay attention to, you move towards. Whatever keeps stealing it, steals your future. The trap gets stronger because it doesn't just steal time. It also changes what your mind expects. Every time you feel a little boredom, a little friction, a little discomfort, your brain now knows there's an instant exit sitting in your pocket. Open the app, refresh the feed, get a hit of something new. Something funny, attractive, useful, outrageous, or emotionally charged. Relief arrives fast, and your brain starts learning that fast relief is the answer to almost everything. So now it's not just a bad habit, it's a personalized escape route, and your mind starts losing an important ability, the ability to stay with a moment that isn't immediately rewarding. That's why reading a few pages can suddenly feel weirdly hard. That's why work starts feeling unbearably slow after 5 minutes. That's why silence can feel restless instead of peaceful. Your brain has been trained to expect a faster reward cycle than real life can provide, which means the fight isn't just about using your phone less, it's about interrupting the pattern where every uncomfortable moment gets handed over to a machine that already knows how to keep you from sitting with yourself. So if that's the trap, then the way out has to start by breaking the pattern. Not with some huge digital detox, not by disappearing into the woods for a week, which most of us don't have the luxury to do. Just by retraining your mind to stay in moments it usually tries to escape. That's the shift. Because every time you instantly reach for stimulation, you reinforce the same loop. But every time you pause, even briefly, you start weakening it. So here's something simple. For the next 30 seconds, do nothing. Don't check anything. Don't skip ahead. Don't open another tab. Just sit here and breathe. In through your nose. Out through your mouth. Again. And one more time. If that felt easy, good. If it felt strangely hard, restless, or almost irritating, then that's important too. Because that discomfort is exactly what most people are running from all day. And the longer you avoid it, the more control it starts to have over you. That's why the first practical step is not be more disciplined. It's learning how to stop obeying every impulse the second it appears. This is the smallest level it starts. When you feel the urge to open your phone, wait 30 seconds first. When you get bored, don't immediately kill the feeling. Sit with it for a moment. Read for 5 minutes without switching tabs. Take one walk without music, podcast, or background noise. Leave tiny pockets in your day where your brain isn't being constantly fed. Those moments matter because they start rebuilding something the feed has been wearing down. Your ability to remain present. And that's the real skill. Not becoming some perfectly optimized robots. It's not about never getting distracted again. That's impossible. It's just becoming someone who can notice the pull, feel the discomforts, and still choose not to hand every quiet moment over to a system that's been designed to consume it. So where do you go from here? Probably not where most people expect. This usually isn't solved by downloading another productivity app, buying a new planner, or chasing some perfect routine that's supposed to fix your life overnight. If your attention's been worn down by constant stimulation, then what you need most is to start rebuilding your tolerance for slowness. Because reclaiming your attention usually doesn't happen through one big dramatic change. It happens through small moments where you stop letting every urge make the decision for you. That's why the goal isn't perfection, it's practice. You practice pausing before you react. You practice noticing boredom without rushing to erase it. You practice letting your mind settle long enough to remember what your own thoughts sound like. That means not touching your phone for the first 30 minutes after you wake up. It might mean setting aside one part of the day where you work, read, or eat without anything playing in the background. It might mean catching that impulse to check your phone and asking, do I actually want to do this, or am I just trying to avoid a quiet moment? And yes, you're going to get distracted. That's part of it. The point isn't to never slip. The point is to notice when you've drifted and bring yourself back, again and again. Because every time you do that, you're fighting for yourself, for your attention, for your peace, for your ability to actually be here instead of constantly getting pulled somewhere else. And no, that doesn't magically erase the larger system working against you. The algorithms will still adapt. The feed will still get smarter. The pull will still be there. That part matters, because this struggle was never just about personal weakness. But once you see the game more clearly, you stop blaming yourself so blindly, and you can start training with more intention. Because each time you come back, you're rebuilding self-trust. You're proving to yourself that your attention doesn't have to belong to every impulse, every notification, or every piece of content thrown your way. And over time, that starts changing more than your screen habits. It changes how you work, how you think, how you listen, and how present you're able to be in your own life. Reclaiming your attention means reclaiming your ability to be present long enough to build something real. A real mind, a real life, and a real relationship with yourself. So, if you're tired of feeling like your attention, your time, and your life keep slipping through your hands, subscribe. This channel is for people who want to think more clearly, live more intentionally, and break out of the patterns that keep them stuck. Not with fake hype or empty motivation, but with ideas that actually help you take your mind back. So if that sounds like the kind of path you're trying to walk, I'd be glad to help you along the way.